Hi folks, Grandma Judy here, gardening at Bridlemile, trying to make sure everything is looking well for the children and plenty for them to learn and do in the fall. But we need your help, so here we go with some ideas on tips for how to help us maintain the garden and make sure everything is doing well. Starting here with our potato patch, we have some potato mounds that we're going to keep mounding up as the plants keep growing with adding more soil from the soil pile. We have them in cages, and we also have some rows. You can't miss where the potatoes are growing now because they're pretty much popping up.
So should we keep burying them until there's about this much plant left?
Yes.
So if you get here and the plants are really tall, like a foot tall, you can bury them up to about, the top 4 inches showing.
Yeah, it's called hilling up the potatoes. And then a little while before it's time to harvest, we'll actually trim the greens and put the energy into the growing of the potatoes for the last little stint of growth.
Cool.
And then the children will be harvesting.
When is that?
That'll be after school starts.
That'll be, okay.
Probably.
So don't do that this summer.
Right. We have a lot of volunteer sunflowers that came up in our mini farm here.
So don't bury the sunflowers. These ones with the long leaves with the point on the end are sunflowers. They do not need to be buried. This is the potato.
We have little clumps of grass and other weeds, and we have an encroachment of the grass area, that pathway along here, so we kind of need to keep that out of the way.
So we can weed along this grass barrier in between the corn bed.
Keep it back.
And really anything in between. This is just corn in here?
I'm not even sure what this is. I was thinking it must be a weed.
Oh, there are corn and beans in here, right?
There are some scarlet runner beans planted near the corn, and the idea is that they will grow up.
This one is the scarlet runner. These are obviously the corn, and they should stay.
Yeah, we're going to be adding some more pumpkins and things. We've got a few on down this way, along with the sunflowers that volunteered themselves so beautifully.
They're so happy there.
Yeah, we moved a few around when they were smaller. Can't really transplant them when they get big. And so we have just now planted this morning on the next section of the mini farm.
This is like early May.
Some jackby little pumpkins, a whole row. We're going to be adding more pumpkins. This is kind of like a pumpkin patch.
Edible or carving pumpkins?
These are they're hard to carve. I mean, they're probably edible, but you usually don't eat these little guys. But we will try to grow varieties of edibles. This is just what the seeds that I happen to have that I started. And then we do have one trellis so far and 4 little cucumber plants. So we want to use this wall space to grow vines. And cucumbers is a start, but we can grow gourds and loofahs and even put some more runner beans of some kind if we want to. So
great.
This is hopefully going to have an irrigation line down it, but right now everything has to be hand watered. And the watering should happen early in the day or early evening, and we should try to avoid watering the leaves of the plants when we put the water down, especially if there's any sun.
Great.
So this was tricky watering for me this morning because I had to try to avoid the leaves. And then we have our native plant garden, which is looking really beautiful. Always needs some weeding. Got some runaway vetch in here that can come out, and all these little...
Let's touch the vetch here.
Yeah, this is the vetch. Kind of looks like pea plant.
Not to be confused with the yarrow, which can stay.
Right.
Just this one. It has a lot finer texture. The vetch has kind of these lined up bigger leaves, and it's sticky, right? It kind of grabs to your...
These gnarly big weeds here.
These
that
ones
have
can
a
go
taproot,
too.
and they come out pretty easily. And I just have a weed pile here that eventually will get picked up.
Right around the same area as this one, this is kinnikinnick, this stays.
Yeah, it's really challenging to discriminate between the kinnikinnick and the weeds.
If you're feeling like you don't know the weeds very well, the native garden's probably not the best place for you to weed, or you can just come through and pull out the vetch or dandelions or things you definitely know.
That they can pull out these
Yeah,
kind of
dandelions
things.
are pretty obvious, hopefully to most of us. So this whole native garden can be weeded.
Yeah, especially.
And then we're also maintaining the front edge of this garden so that the grass is not getting into our planting. It's looking so good. Look at this.
Yeah. We have several
Our
beautiful
grasses are looking
right now.
great. Grandma Judy sprinkles magic when she's here.
Oh, but we do have some poison hemlock that we're keeping on top of. We have a couple of them here, and it's better, unless you've been trained on how to remove that you don't. It kind of looks like Queen Anne's lace or carrot leaf. So just
We're leaving that one to the
leave to the people
hemlock
that
removal
had the
team.
training on removal, because we wear gloves and long sleeves, and we make sure to dispose of it in a different way than we do with other things.
Great.
So
I'm gonna actually stop the video here and start another one just because it's a little bit easier to manage.